Welcome to today's meditation. Let's start by finding a comfortable position, sitting or lying down as you settle into this meditation. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breathing. Perhaps notice how shallow your breathing is, giving you the opportunity to elongate your breath. Breathing in deeply, breathing out completely. Notice where you might be feeling tension right now and choose to relax. Feel where you might be holding stress. Let your attention drift to your shoulders as they release and soften. Your hands and fingers as they open and release. Feel your entire body melt a little deeper into relaxation. And just be here for a bit, letting yourself get lost in the natural rhythm of your body's movements. As you settle, let's set our intention. Today we're stretching our faith to believe the Lord will give you a future. Let's listen to the words of David in Psalm 37. Don't follow after the wicked ones or be jealous of their wealth. Don't think for a moment that they're better off than you. They and their short-lived success will soon shrivel up and quickly fade away, like grass clippings in the hot sun. Keep trusting in the Lord and do what is right in His eyes. Fix your heart on the promises of God, and you will dwell in the land, feasting on His faithfulness. Find your delight and true pleasure in Yahweh, and He will give you what you desire most. Give God the right to direct your life, and as you trust Him along the way, you will find He pulled it off perfectly. Maybe David is speaking right to you. Have you found yourself being jealous of others, of their possessions or events or travels? David reminds us, don't think for a moment that they're better off than you. Others' success will be short-lived and soon fade away if it's not rooted in the promises of God. David gives us powerful wisdom, saying, fix your heart on the promises of God, and you will dwell in the land, feasting on His faithfulness. Find your delight and true pleasure in Yahweh, and He will give you what you desire most. What a promise! If you find your delight in the Lord, He will give you what you desire most. You must give God the right to direct your life. David says the choice is yours. There is great power in choosing. Right now, take a moment to tell the Lord you are choosing Him and His way. He knows that you've tried on your own, but you've found again and again that His way is best. Let's pick back up in Psalm 37. David writes, He will appear as your righteousness, as sure as the dawning of a new day. He will manifest as your justice, as sure and strong as the noonday sun. Quiet your heart in His presence and wait patiently for Yahweh. And don't think for a moment that the wicked in their prosperity are better off than you. Stay away from anger and revenge. Keep envy far from you, for it only leads you into lies. For one day the wicked will be destroyed, but those who trust in the Lord will inherit the land. Just a little while longer, and the ungodly will vanish. You will look for them in vain. But the humble of heart will inherit every promise and enjoy abundant peace. Again, David pours out wisdom for us. He assures us that God will give us righteousness and justice, and we really need those. We need to be made right with the Lord, and we need to know that He will bring justice to our case. He'll make everything right in the end. He'll give us justice and reveal truth to all. We must quiet our hearts, refuse to give in to anger or a desire for revenge. We must not envy others or the success they seem to have. Instead, we must humble our hearts and have faith that the Lord will give us a future better than we can imagine. David continues, "It is much better to have little combined with much of God than to have the fabulous wealth of the wicked and nothing else. For the Lord takes care of all His forgiven ones, while the strength of evil men will surely slip away. Day by day the Lord watches the good deeds of the godly, and He prepares for them His forever reward. Even in a time of disaster He will watch over them, and they will always have more than enough, no matter what happens." Have you already found out what David did? That it's better to have a little with God than to have everything you think you want, but live without Him. It's an empty, unfulfilling, always scrambling for more life. Instead, God promises a forever reward for those He's forgiven. Even in times of trouble, the Lord is watching out for you. He is surely providing a future for you, and no disaster can destroy the plans the Lord has for you. David goes on, "When Yahweh delights in how you live your life, He establishes your every step. If they stumble badly, they will still survive, for the Lord lifts them up with His hands. I was once inexperienced, but now I'm old. Not once have I found a lover of God forsaken by Him, nor have any of their children gone hungry. Instead, I've found the godly ones to be the generous ones, who give freely to others. Their children are blessed and become a blessing. If you truly want to dwell forever in God's presence, forsake evil and do what is right in His eyes. The Lord loves it when He sees us walking in justice. He will never desert His devoted lovers. They will be kept forever in His faithful care. But the descendants of the wicked will be banished. The faithful lovers of God will inherit the earth and enjoy every promise of God's care, dwelling in peace forever. God lovers make the best counselors. Their words possess wisdom and are right and trustworthy. The ways of God are in their hearts, and they won't swerve from the path of steadfast righteousness. Evil ones spy on the godly ones, stalking them to find something they could use to accuse them. They're out for the kill. But God will foil all their plots. The godly will not stand condemned when brought to trial. Let's come back to our breath for a moment, making sure that we're taking nice, long inhales and exhaling slowly. We need to take in all the blessings of living a life that pleases God. David tells us the Lord will direct our every step. Even if we stumble badly, we will not fail. God is holding us in His hands. The lovers of God are never forsaken. They're never hungry. Instead, they have more than enough. David tells us those who love God have blessed children, and their children learn to become a blessing. If you're facing a trial right now, whether that be a literal trial or any troubling circumstance, David tells us God will destroy all the plans and schemes of the enemy, and you will not be condemned. You need to claim that today, right now in your heart. Have faith. God will not let you be condemned. He will give you justice and hope for a future. David wraps up Psalm 37 with more encouragement. So don't be impatient for Yahweh to act. Keep moving forward steadily in His ways, and He will exalt you to possess the land. You'll watch with your own eyes and see the wicked lose everything. I've already seen this happen. Once I saw a wicked and violent man overpower all who were around him, a domineering tyrant with his prideful and oppressive ways. Then he died and was forgotten. No one cares that he is gone forever. But you can tell who are the blameless and spiritually mature. What a different story with them. The godly ones will have a peaceful, prosperous future with a happy ending. Every evil sinner will be destroyed, obliterated. They'll be utter failures with no future. But the Lord will be the Savior of all who love Him. Even in their time of trouble, God will live in them as strength. Because of their faith in Him, their daily portion will be a Father's help and deliverance from evil. This is true for all who turn to hide themselves in Him. In order to have the future of your dreams, don't be impatient. Move forward every day and wait for the Lord to exalt you. You will certainly receive all that He has promised when His time is right. David speaks of a violent, overpowering man, a domineering and prideful tyrant. Maybe you know such a man. David says that that man was forgotten. His power was taken, and no one remembered him. But those who love God have a peaceful, prosperous future. David even calls it one with a happy ending. God will live inside of you as strength. Because of your faith, God will always deliver you from harm. If you hide yourself in Him, He will save you every time. Take a moment and visualize the future you want. Maybe you just want peace and safety. Maybe you need provision and security. Maybe you still have dreams. The dreams you thought you forgot long ago, but they're still there, buried in your heart. Maybe you know exactly what you're called to. Take a moment and see yourself in that future. See what the Lord has promised you and bring it all to your mind. faith, tell the Lord that you are waiting on Him. No matter what may come, you're holding tightly to the Lord. You're not going to let go. You will see the goodness of the Lord here in this place. You believe God is generous and kind, and you will receive all that He has promised you. The Lord will give you peace. He will give you safety. He will bless you and your children. He will rescue you again and again. The Lord will not let your story end until His glory is shown and everything is good. He is not done with you yet, for the Lord will give you a future.